Oh shit. Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 2 of What I've Learned Today. Today, we're going to talk about some movement. Alright, so talking about movement, and mainly movement and how it applies to action sports in particular. So let's get into it. This was brought up by an idea that I saw from a comment by Baxter Williams. He said, could you do something about shooting more steady film? And I thought, yes, I can do that. But what a better time to talk about just movement in general. So that's what I decided to do.
Give me the water while we watch this city. Give me the water while we watch this city burn. Give me the water while we watch this city.
And now, so movement in action sports is a really good practice in learning how to create dynamic shots that you can use these techniques and apply them to anything else, right? So when you're shooting action sports, you pretty much have maybe 1 or 2 tries to get the shot down and locked, right? Because the person you're filming is putting their body on the line, and, setup time, if they have to go back up the hill or, over to the other side of the park, or like they fall in the water. If you're shooting wakeboarding, they have to go back around, So you better get that shot the first time, and being able to do that is a really valuable skill. So creating movement, right? The purpose of it, think about why you are making the shot a moving shot, right? Having shots that, like a moving shot that cuts to another moving shot, all creates this like sense of forward momentum in a piece. And it really helps to sell the effect of like a fast-paced or fast-moving scene. So what can you do when you're like looking for a moving shot, right? So in a video Max Dubler did a while ago about shooting photos of downhill skating, he was like saying, trying to get a shot where you get the skater in the shot and try and get where they're coming from and where they're going, if at all possible, instead of just a zoomed in banger shot of someone, just riding a board.
So one thing I always try to show is like where the skater is coming from and where they're going, so you can figure out what's going on in the photo. Because like a lot of the time.
So you can use movement as well to reveal information. Having, say, a tree, and you're just sliding like around a tree like that, and your skater's doing something, whatever, behind it, it feels awesome. It like creates a sense of dimensionality to your piece. And that can be applied to short films, ads, whatever else you do. A company that does this extremely well is Brain Farm. Brain Farm does this amazingly, right? They did the Fourth Phase, Art of Flight, Julian Wilson's pieces. They've done just a crap load of awesome stuff. And they just have this like concept of movement down lock. All right, so how do you get movement, right? So you want to create parallax. And what parallax is, according to Google right here, when viewed from different positions, e.g., you find your movement camera. So it's basically the like spatial and right. So it's that like movement shift where things closer move faster and things in the distance move farther. And creating parallax is pretty easy if you know what you're doing. So the wider you go, the less parallax you'll have, because you're just getting so much in the scene and there's less lens compression. If you're shooting more zoomed in, say on a 50, 100 plus millimeter lens, you're going to get a lot more parallax because there's a lot more compression. That means the stuff in the background is going to be more blown up and compressed to the stuff in the foreground. I don't know if you can, there you go, right? Should do it like that. So in a wide lens, it would be like this. On a telephoto, it would be more like that, where the stuff is compressed together. To do this, you can use a glide cam like this. This is my trusty glide cam, so it probably has more spare parts on it than OEM parts. At the moment, it's super old, super reliable though. They're rugged and awesome. The problem is they take a long time to learn how to fly and how to balance them, right? Then next up we have a Ronin or a Movi. Now Ronin or Movies are expensive. They're electronic versions of glide cams. They do an epic job of stabilization. You can even get like small handheld gimbals. You can use them as a tripod. You can use them as a slider, this one tool kind of encompasses all these other previous tools. The next one to create some movement is the slider. Like I said before, you can go handheld, and surprisingly, you can get some decent handheld shots if you know what you're doing. If you zoom in a bit on some object and you can just do a quick little shift like this, just small little stuff to get some parallax going, you can throw that into your editor and stabilize it. Like Warp Stabilizer does an awesome job of just getting those little jitters out. The next one is drones. They help you create an awesome sense of place, and I think good examples of drone shots are in the fourth phase. They do some crazy stuff where they like fly through trees following the snowboarders. So definitely check out fourth phase. The link for that will be in the description below. You can also overdo movement by having just shots that are just unnecessarily moving. And I think the fourth phase is a great example of how to do moving shots and how to overdo them. There are just some bits in there like why was that shot moving? But I can understand if you're like fucking in a hectic situation, you can't take the tripod off, take the camera off like a gimbal or whatever and put it on a tripod. But just hold it steady. Just, try and keep it as steady as you can. So yeah, that's about it. That just wraps up my little tidbit on movement and action sports. And there's just so much you can get into with movement that I'm just trying to keep this video short. This is just all my opinion and thoughts. So if you think I missed something, or if I said something wrong, or, just you have something to add, please just leave it in a comment below. I'll give it a reply and check it out. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you didn't, that other button is down there. Here, I'd appreciate it if you share it with your friends and give it a subscribe. But other than that, guys, I'll check you in the next video.